Yee!
Alright guys, we are at 12:30.
Yay!
So we'll get started. And we're just going to start by giving a short introduction, like who we are, how long we've been cosplaying, like a biggest cosplay accomplishment that y'all are proud of, and when and where we can find you on socials. You want me to start?
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so hello, I am Emily, aka Luna Lady of Light. I am a Midwest cosplayer from Michigan. I have been cosplaying for 17 years. It's been a long time. My cosplay career is old enough to drive. And my biggest cosplay accomplishment would be representing the United States 3 times on the international stage. Last year at the World Cosplay Summit, I was part of Team USA for 2023. In 2022, I was Team USA for GCOF, which is the Gyeonggi International Cosplay Festival in South Korea. And in 2018, I was the Team USA for the Clara Cow's Cosplay Cup in the Netherlands. And it's a lot of fun. And you can find me anywhere online at Luna Lady of Light. I'm just one of those old people that never changes it, so I'm real easy to find. Good. Yeah.
Hello, I am Tiffany. I'm the owner of Tiffany Gordon Cosplay LLC, which is a company that focuses on costume and prop fabrication as well as education. I first started cosplaying in 2008. And originally it was from Texas, but my husband is active duty in the Air Force, and we are currently stationed in Omaha, Nebraska.
Oh boy.
Yes, it's so much fun. we're learning about tornadoes now. But yes, and probably one of my biggest accomplishments would be I won BlizzCon's cosplay contest last year for my Lilith. So,
yes, congratulations.
So hey everyone, my name's Ariel. I go by Ari Nico Cosplay online, and I've been cosplaying for about 12 years now. A lot of my cosplays I really like to focus on, detail and textures. And my biggest accomplishment, I'll say it's more like a, self-accomplishment type of thing. It's kind of silly, but I feel like, I'm really happy with, the skills that I've grown over the years. I remember when I was like a baby cosplayer and just being like, why doesn't mine look like everyone else's? And so, yeah, I know it's kind of silly, but I'm really happy with how much I myself have grown, and it really makes creating even more fun. So yeah.
Hi guys, I am Regan of Calbutt Crunchy's Cosplay. I have been cosplaying for 24 years. Do not do the math.
One more year. A quarter of a century.
Right, stop it. I do a lot of mixed media builds, combining like needlework, unusual techniques. I also do a lot of tutorials along with my wife. We've written 3 different cosplay books. And I think it's hard to think of my favorite accomplishment because you get to do so much cool stuff through cosplay, but probably the one that just comes to mind is I am the 2019 Global Champion of Cosplay through the Crown Championship.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Yeah, close enough, okay, cool. My name is Zach, I go by Zavage Cosplay. I have been cosplaying for just over 26, no I'm kidding, 11 years, I'm 12 years old, so almost my entire life. No, 11 years. I think, I was sitting here trying to think of what I would say, and I think honestly what started this whole journey for me is maybe my very, very first award I ever got in my competition journey, which was back in probably 2016. It was a hall cosplay contest at A-Kon, which does not exist anymore. And it was for a Persona 5 cosplay, and I think that I entered at a level I was bumped up with my friend, and just winning an award for the very first time felt so special, and that kind of propelled me to kind of be where I am now. So yeah, that's what I thought of.
Yay. And he has a really cool podcast, by the way.
Oh yeah, and I have a podcast. It's called The Cosplay Crunch. All of you are going to be on it at some point, so be prepared. Be scared.
Hello, some call me Tim. HDC, or Harrison Designs and Concepts. I've been cosplaying since about 2010, competing since 2014, judging since 2017. And in addition to this kind of stuff, I also own a professional industry design and fabrication studio based in Chicago. We do work for like Amazon, Disney, Showtime, the local Dick Wolf shows, commercial stuff, all sorts of craziness. I'm also an adjunct professor with DePaul University teaching multimedia fabrication and special effects. Probably my greatest accomplishment, again, is probably just having the opportunity to do this full time. Is not just fabrication, but just creating and enjoying the love and education of the art with a bunch of weird nerds like myself. So it's a privilege and an honor. You can find us on the interwebs at hdcfab.com or HDC Fabrication on all of the social medias. Thanks.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I am Panta Bruno. I'm from a little Caribbean country. It's called Trinidad and Tobago. So what level of the Trinidadian accent do you all want to hear today? Because, you know, we could go there. Or I can talk in my Americanized version so that you can understand what I'm saying. I try, but yes. I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. I have been cosplaying for 20 years now. What is the other thing? Something that I'm proud of?
Yeah.
Honestly, there's not one thing in particular. It's just the fact that I get to represent my country on a global stage because, 20 years ago, I would have never thought that I would be given the opportunity to do the crazy things that cosplay enables me to do. Like, I've been in Shonen Jump magazine. One of my cosplays is actually on display presently in the Parliament building of Trinidad and Tobago.
Nice.
Like, it's insane. So just the ability to be able to represent my country, and I know some of y'all probably gonna Google where that is. It's a free geography lesson. It's next to Venezuela, damn it. And yeah, so nice to be here, and if you see me around, say hi.
Hi everybody, my name is Alley Cat Cosplay and I'm a Georgia-based cosplayer. I've been cosplaying since 2010, poorly, but through this love of cosplay, I just really went into the art of it. I went to school for art, and my greatest accomplishment is before cosplay, I had a deathly fear of talking to people or making friends. So yes, absolutely, I couldn't speak to anybody. So we went to my first anime convention in 2009, started cosplaying in 2010. And through cosplay and being able to be a character to meet other people, I was able to talk to people and use that both personally and professionally to where I was able to increase my career. I've currently worked on film and TV in Atlanta and was able to make the bodysuits for Black Panther for Universal Studios. So cool. Yes, a few of them, the Icebreakers Grand Master that was here a few years ago with Joe Specialty Goods in Atlanta, as well as the New Day WWE. Their bodysuits for the Gears of War collab, amongst other things that I may or may not be able to talk about. But if I can do it and not be able to talk to anybody and do this, I would everybody to be able to do it.
I love that. We all have such really cool, diverse backgrounds, but cosplay has brought us all together. I think that's the best part of the hobby. All right, so we just have a few pre-prepared questions that we're going to go over, and if we do have any extra time, we will open it up for a Q&A. The first question is, I know this was one that Reagan suggested, and I think it's a really good one, is do you consider yourself a professional or a hobbyist cosplayer? And I'm definitely more on the hobby side because I actually work in an office and do this all day, and then I come home and do this all night. So shrimp shaped, unfortunately. But yeah, I work in insurance. I don't do any of the upfront stuff. I do all the stuff on the back end, trying to make the money back from claims that we've paid out. We actually can sell cars that have been totaled. So that's what I do. I work with cars all day, and then I come home and work with fabric. It's fun. It's pretty interesting. It helps when we have to figure out which Uber is coming, because Connor is not a car person, and he's like, I don't know what we're looking for, and I'm like, it's a Nissan Sentra and it's silver. And he's like, that's Chinese, I don't know what you're speaking.
has 4 wheels.
It has 4 wheels.
It goes forward.
It's shiny and moving.
Well, I own a company for it, so I would consider that professional, I guess. It's my full-time job and my main source of income, and I sell tons of patterns on my site, and those patterns you can follow the tutorial on YouTube to make the exact costume or prop and learn. So like everything I'm wearing today, I have a pattern, and you can go there, watch YouTube, make it. Yeah, so I teach you to sew, foam, all that. So I think that into it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Awesome. So for me, basically the same thing that Emily said. You know, I have a full-time day job doing data stuff, so it's basically data by day and cosplay by night. But yeah, and for me, I'm good with that. You know, I really like, you know, doing cosplay on my own terms, the way I want to, at the speed I want to. So yeah, that's me.
So I like this question because every single time I guest, I have someone ask, why aren't you professional? When are you going to go professional? How long is it going to take? And I have to tell them every single time, no, I am a hobbyist and I intend to always remain a hobbyist. I super admire the folks who are able to do this full time because it is a lot of work. But I like to tell this to people because it is not necessarily for everyone. You know, I think newer folks to cosplay, they see a lot of successful cosplayers and they think, well, in order for me to be a successful cosplayer, I have to win contests or I have to go professional. And if I don't do those things, then I'm not a good cosplayer. And no, there are so many different ways to do this, and you can create incredible works of art in your spare time after you come home in the evening. You know, I like this because I am not on the hook to create things that I think are going to be popular or are going to make me money. I can instead take money from my software job. I do not do anything creative. I am a QA software engineer. And I can take my money and come home and make silly, crazy vampire stuff. And it doesn't matter if it flops on TikTok, because it's not tied to my income. And I also like living in Boston, and it's expensive. So, you know, you should be able to do what works for you. And, you know, it's going to be different for everyone. I will say I do make some side money from, you know, book sales, guesting, that kind of stuff. But it will never be my main source of income.
No.
No, already. It's too early for that. It's a very interesting question. So first and foremost, cosplay is not my full-time job. It is not my income. I am a hobbyist, and I have a full-time day job, just like others on the panel as well. I like to tell people that I take my craft seriously, but not myself. I think that cosplay is an art form, and in that spirit, I try to always better myself and work in a professional manner when I attend events just like this. Like Reagan said, I have been paid for cosplay opportunities in the past. I think that if you get paid for your skill, that maybe technically makes you a professional. Okay. No. Different opinions. But no, I would not say that I am a professional cosplayer because it's not my full-time income. But I think that also, going off of what Reagan said, it is interesting that people do have assumption that there's this glamorized version of what being a professional cosplayer looks like. And it is a lot of hard work. It is a lot of long hours, not doing all the things you want to make, or not being able to share what you're doing because you're under NDAs and other things like that. So I'm happy with where I'm at now. My day job allows me to fund my art, and that's kind of how I roll with my cosplay.
As far as cosplay, I honestly consider myself more of a hobbyist as well, because it's not my main source of income either. It's while I do create costumes and props and whatnot for a living, it's for film or TV or commercial production or enterprise display. So there's often limitations with time and whatnot around that, or crunching, that also unfortunately prevent me from making stuff for myself. It's one of the like, especially if, like, I know a lot of folks that do some kind of fabrication and design for a living. That's one of the biggest things that we always talk about is miss having the freedom just to be able to make stuff when we want it for us and not have to worry about limitations on worrying about where our money's coming from, worrying about the overhead of my shop space, worrying about tooling, all the fun administrative stuff like liability insurance.
Oh, yep, that's a fun time.
So yeah, it's honestly, it's something that I am glad that I am slowly starting to get back to the hobby side, because as a big Halloween nerd from when I started crawling around on my knees, it's that love and joy of the craft that made me want to do this in the first place. And I honestly feel like I lost it for a little bit trying to develop and going through some life business things, which is always exciting. So it's the cosplay side, this especially, while it is very much associated and complementary to my business, I do this because I enjoy it, not because it helps pay my bills. It's more supplementary to the travel expenses and whatnot. And it's nice being able to hang out with friends and meet other weirdos and just talk about making stuff, talking about shop, and just sharing those experiences and why we got into this crazy madness in the first place.
You know, it's funny, I've judged with you, what, 2 times?
Yeah,
And
decent.
yeah, and I think you've only ever been in costume like 1 of those 2 times.
I don't like judging in costume because, as these guys know from...
Tim, you can have that.
Well, yeah, same.
Oh, there's no eye holes.
There's no eye.
So I'm very mobile when I judge, as these guys know from this weekend, and I like to see things, and I don't believe in a 10-foot rule. So especially when it comes like craftsmanship competitions, I personally like to get up close and see everything to better appreciate the time and effort that everybody gets into. And if I'm wearing a more rigid Cell Saga Vegeta thing, I have sometimes not the ability to bend or bounce and move. So I just like to be flexible.
Like core memories of us like crawling around on the floor judging cosplay. And then just FYI, not everybody needs to answer every question. So if there's a question you're not comfortable with, you don't have to answer it. But just FYI. So if anybody does skip, it's not because we don't like someone, or it's not because we don't want to hear from them. It's because they're just choosing not to answer that question, which is also fine. All right. Did you guys all, anybody at the end, if you're good, we can move on to the next one?
Yeah.
We're good. Alrighty, sounds good. So I know you guys got about 6 of us chatting at you, and we gotta watch that time. Alright, so what drives your passion for cosplay and creativity? And I think this is a really big one for all of us, honestly. I'm a theater kid. I have a BFA in musical theater, and I love to think about putting my work on the stage and getting a chance to look at it and see how cool it's gonna be, like when I get that video back, you know, if you get that video back, fingers crossed. But that's where mine comes from, is from being a theater kid and just loving costumes.
I just really am hands-on. I love making things, just bringing stuff to life, like my favorite characters that I see it in. Like, I know how I choose a costume is like, I see a game, and then I get fixated on a character, and I'll get the model, and I'll just start spinning it. And analyzing it for an hour, and realize, oh, I'm analyzing each parts of this. Maybe I should make it. And it really does help for me. Like, I do suffer from depression sometimes, and it kind of helps for me to put my creativity towards something that I really enjoy, and it helps me a lot. It's not for everybody, but for me personally, it really helps.
I love that.
So, yeah. For me, it's very much a creative outlet. You know, I don't really do anything creative in my day job or anything. So it's like a way to kind of do what I want to do, and also, you know, express myself and relieve stress. So, which to me, it's like very important to have something that you can, you know, dedicate your kind of free time to, and something to work towards. And I'll say too, like, just I'm really inspired by the community itself. I see so many people with so many amazing cosplays and new techniques, and that really also just, encourages me to create further.
For me, it is a very even split. On the one hand, there is the fun community cosplay with friends where we do absolutely silly nonsense like Ember Island players, and it is not nicely constructed whatsoever. And then on the other hand, I think I really am into the art of cosplay. So the design, the coming up with unique techniques for how to combine different materials and produce something that maybe has not been done before, or make your own original design. I think that's what I'm most passionate about.
I think is that close enough? No.
That's YouTube, so put it between
It's
you
ours. We can share it, Tim.
I think audio got frustrated.
Okay. So for me, I think that regardless of, it's really fun to be able to experience new cons. It's really nice to be able to further skills and make new costumes and to see yourself embodied as a character from a game that you love or an anime that you love. But I would not still be cosplaying if I did not have a strong community of friends that I was doing this with. If I was by myself making costumes, I would have probably stopped a long time ago. Part of what motivates me to continue crafting is not only to see myself in these characters from these fandoms I love, but with my friends who I also love and care about. It sounds corny and tacky a little bit, but truly the friendships and the people I've met through cosplay, whether they are serious hardcore crafters or they're very casual, maybe dress up once a year and buy their costume from Taobao, all in between, I think that the friendships I fostered are really what's most important to me, and I wouldn't be here so many years later if I didn't have those.
Kind of to go off what both these guys said is it's the love of the craft, but also the community. There's so many people that I have met that are now longtime friends, just simply from hanging out in the green room when we were all competing together, talking shop and so forth. And it's I also enjoy learning, and apparently my ADHD superpower is quick technical skill acquisition. So it's nice to hyper focus and be able to deep dive and then apply that to new stuff and mess around. Whereas with the work side, I don't often have those liberties because I can't afford to mess up or take the chance to try unknown techniques and things like that. Or stuff that just takes a little bit longer. I really enjoy traditional sculpting. I really enjoy traditional leather work. But it's very time-consuming, slow stuff. And if I need to make a weird thing for a commercial in 3 days, it's usually down to the wire regardless, because producers can't make decisions. So it's being able to just kind of relax and chill and share the love of all of our fandoms, share the love of the craft that really keeps me going and something that I enjoy, and I'm privileged to be able to do stuff like this with you guys.
Well, for me, I have a lot of different things that inspire me and drive me to cosplay, but one of the things that keeps me going is one word: feels. Like, it has led me down some very treacherous paths in life. One such being, my free run cosplay that I had to do in like 24 hours before bad decisions, but feels. Like, I have an Excel sheet with 90 costumes that I want to make. And every year I keep saying, you know what, I'm not gonna add anymore, I'm not gonna add anymore. And every year I just feel inspired to just keep making crazy shit. I can say shit.
Good.
Yeah, just keep making crazy shit. So feels is one of the things that drives me, but also it's a form of creative self-expression for me. One of the things that I really love doing is incorporating my culture in my costumes. So I do this thing called carnival cosplay. It just really gives me a really cool outlet to kind of express myself in really, really different and unique ways. And I've not been able to find that in my other creative outlets because I'm also a fashion designer. I do all these things, but cosplay really is what kind of drives me. And hopefully one day before I'm 90, I'll be able to get through all of this stuff.
It's a mood.
1 year.
What drives me to cosplay goes back to the friendship thing. my love for art. I went to school for art all my life, and the fandom for a character, because we're all otakus. Like, you can be a fan of a character in cosplay and you are otaku. Like, you can't be a fan of Obama and then dress like him and say you're not a geek. Like, it just drives my passion, and the ability to learn new things just is always what I crave. Like, learning new techniques, going to other friends to teach me how to do things. Never knew how to make a resin print or cast or anything. I learned this on last Sunday from a friend in Atlanta. And it's just a craving to learn things is what drives me, is to learn something new, add something new to a cosplay, be able to teach a friend or have a friend teach me. And it's almost a cyclical thing that makes my brain tingly, and I love it.
I love it. All right, for this next one, I'm gonna actually start at the other end and we'll work our way back.
No.
I'm sorry. All right, what is your favorite thing about the cosplay community? I know we've touched on it a little bit, but.
Oh my God, when they say community, it really is community. If I post on Facebook, I lost my hairspray, I have 5 people commenting being like, come to this room, this room, this room. If I even look a little dehydrated, I have 5 water bottles in my face. It's like, I love the community. It's something that I modeled on my friendships after, like Sailor Moon. It's like, I really value all of my friends and I'll die by the beryllium crystal for you. And it feels so good to be like that and have someone feel the same way in turn. Just because you guys want to dress up like little characters. And it's my favorite thing.
Yeah, mine is similar. Like, I've been all over the world for cosplay, and what I find so interesting is the fact that no matter where a cosplayer is in the world, we're all crazy people. Like, I've been to Asia, Europe, and we all have the same kind of mindset, and I find that to be so incredibly endearing. Like, at the end of the day, we're all kind of unhinged in the exact same way, and we've grown up in so many different social statuses, different cultures, but somehow, some way, cosplay is just that one thing that kind of continues to connect us.
Again, similar to both of these guys, it's no matter where we go, be it work, for fun, or whatnot, I know that there's always this weird group of neurospicy, semi-masochistic folk that we can relate to with our fandoms and our craft and whatnot. And I love seeing so many different ways on how people can implement the same costume, the same characters, put their own twist with it. And it's, like, especially from like the education side, I love being able to just to bounce ideas off of folk, because there's a lot of us can take normal things and think outside the box and implement it in a way that one of us didn't think about, and then we kind of build off of that, and then we develop new techniques and new methods to do stuff, and it's just an ever-expanding spider-webbing mess of creativity. And you can't find that anywhere else that I have found, and I freaking love it.
I think that cosplay is unique because it's an instantly identifiable interest of someone else has. So if you are walking around the mall at your local town, you don't know these people and you have no idea what they like, what their interests are, who they are, if they're weird, like anything. I mean, we're all weird here, that's a given, so you don't have to wonder that. But when you're at a convention and you see someone dressed from your favorite anime or video game, you immediately have that in common with them. You know, 1, they like to dress up and look like a clown, so that's great. And then 2, you share a common interest off the bat. So I think that what I love about the cosplay community is the way that it can really easily make relationships and friendships, because it breaks the ice. You don't have to wonder, hey, is this person, at least there's a starting point for a conversation, and it's a great way to have a launching pad to make connections and friends.
I actually really love how much the cosplay community has changed, actually. If you look at the past, 20 plus years of cosplay. When we first started out, everyone basically cosplayed in one single way, which is you go to Home Depot and you buy pipes and you put it together and you approximate a costume, and then you don't wear a wig, and then you walk around and tell everyone how good you look and I love your costume. And that's like kind of where it started. But over time, it has changed so much because there are now so many more resources available. There are now social media available that has very much changed things. And through that, because the hobby has become more mainstream and more accessible to people, there's now different types of cosplay. You know, you can cosplay in a way that is totally different from someone else who maybe is super into competitions and makes things from scratch, and you hang out with a bunch of craftsmanship cosplayers. And then there's other valid ways to cosplay where you just take photos and you model, and you know, you buy things on AliExpress, and that's also a totally valid way to cosplay. There's lots of different niches in the hobby now that have evolved. So it's kind of not just one community to me, it's a whole lot of little communities with different values.
Awesome. For me, my favorite part of the community, it's been touched on a little bit, but is this like attitude or mindset that anything is possible. That, you know, if you have, you know, never, let's say, learned a programming language or anything, it's like, well, you know, today I'm going to learn how to program some LED lights. So it's really crazy how everyone is so open to learning, and I love to see people being so innovative, and it like happens every day that you'll see, you know, maybe old materials but used in new ways. And so really the creativity and innovation of everyone, it's like so amazing to see and really inspiring.
I'd say I really enjoy that a lot of people share how they make things. So little 1-minute films or reels or whatever. I'm obsessed with wig styling ones, and I follow quite a few, and I love looking at them, and I'm constantly like trying to absorb new knowledge, and I love that a lot of the community does that now. I've tried to do that a lot, and I think it helps just the community in general be able to learn skills on their own, or see like, oh, they're doing this, maybe I'll try this, or try a different way and realize, oh, they had this issue, well, I'll try this way instead and whatnot, but I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I feel like you guys really covered it, because I'm just sitting here at the end going, yes, I agree with all these things. And just to add like some of the international into that, like Panterona was saying, we are all the same, and cosplay is our common language. Because I remember at my first international cosplay competition, so the Netherlands in 2018, we had a group chat. And I remember waking up at like 6 in the morning because we had to get ready for stuff at 8 a.m. And I'm looking at messages from the group chat, somebody saying at like 2 a.m., does anyone have gold paint? Or like, does anyone have any hot glue? So just that whole like, oh, well here you go. And even though we're competing against each other, we want everyone to be their best. So I'd rather have somebody be at their 100% than, you know, oh, well, my thing broke and now I can't do it. It's like, no, you do it. We will help you find a way. That's the best part, I think. Alrighty. So our next one is, what is your favorite part of creating a cosplay? Let's start this one down at the end again.
Oh man. My favorite part of creating a cosplay?
Mm-hmm.
The research. I love the research. It sounds like I love the tedium in making something, and that includes the research. Finding all of the errors that you can do, new avenues, sourcing out ideas on Facebook for other friends, and that's again community coming together, and just getting other people's opinions on how can this thing be made. Like I literally was trying to figure out how to make a giant Japanese, I think it's got the obi, the giant mace. I was like, how can I do this? And I have so many different ideas now on how I'm going to go home and make it. And that's all that's in the back of my head right now, is that one little hamster saying, make this mace, make this mace, make this mace. And that is my favorite part. I love it.
Yeah, I'm kind of similar, because the part that I love the most is before you actually have to make the costume. You know what I'm talking about, right? You know the part where you're like, you know what would be really cool?
We have to cut the fabric.
What if we do this? And it's like, oh, and then we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and we're going to do that. And then you have to sit and make it be like, oh, shit. What have I done? But also, I also have this weird, I don't know if anybody else shares this, but when I make stuff, I like to like add little pieces and then I take like 10 steps back and I just keep looking at it, and the moment when stuff starts coming together.
Yes.
Because like, for the most of it, you're like, what am I doing? Oh no, I made a mistake. I made a terrible, terrible choice. And then there's that part where you're like, no, actually, I'm kind of a boss, like, who am I? Yeah, those are my two favorite ones.
I like to call that trust the process. I did a wig for Connor for World Cosplay Summit, so we brought it here to compete in 2022, and we took it to Japan with us. And I remember making this thing, messaging Connor, going, "Oh my God, this is gonna look terrible. I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking." And Connor's like, "You know what? It's fine. Just breathe and keep going." And when we finished it, it looked exactly like it needed to, and I was just like, ready to cry tears of joy because this stupid, ridiculous wig had worked, and I was just like,
So many texts.
so many times.
You stole my answer. So it's learning, trying to discover new things, and then yeah, just getting you make stuff, and then all of a sudden there's this moment where it just clicks, and then you get past that ugly duckling stage. It's like, damn, yeah, and it just everything just kind of comes together, and it's. As we all know, there's a lot of stress and whatnot that we get into this imposter syndrome, all that nonsense. And it's those little moments that, in addition to the community, kind of make me understand and remind me how much I just enjoy making weird shit.
I like how we've established that we can say shit, by the way.
Yeah. Can we say that? Yes, we can. Oh my gosh, is it bad that when I'm sitting here thinking my favorite part about the costume process, I was like, I have a lot of least favorites. No. Oh my gosh, I know. When it's done, it's your favorite. No, I think research is a really important step, and I think it is a step I like a lot now that I have a larger network of friends to bounce ideas off of. But it's a double-edged sword, because I also find that the more that you know about crafting and creating, the more you're critical of the approach that you take. Because you know more about what you could do, and then you're like, oh wait, I can't do this method because it won't look like I want it. I have to do something different. And I feel like it's like a curve almost, where it's like you get to a point where you know too much. Right?
Dude, no, I really think this happens like once you get to like the top of journeyman, and then it happens again. Like it happens over and over and over again when like you know too much, but you're not skilled enough.
Right. Right. You know what it could or should in your head look like, but you know the skills to get there, and you don't have them.
Exactly. I am dead serious. I am in the thing right now.
Yeah.
Right now, this is where I live. It's awful.
Yeah, that's probably it.
That's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's awful.
There's an artist graph for this.
Yeah.
Is there like, yeah, it's like a between like talent and skill, or like skill and talent, and you're just like, hold on, wait, what's happening?
I feel that in my soul.
It's honestly like a legitimate problem, because it prevents me from actually starting things, because I'm just like, oh, if I do this, then this might be a problem. If I do this, this might be a problem, and then just don't do it. So, I think technically my favorite part is probably like the detailing, like any of the, be it, any of the little fiddly bits and fun, intricate things is probably my favorite. But I do want to emphasize, again, research is so important. Do research! And there's so many resources available. Honestly, like, even though I've been cosplaying for quite a long time, I do new stuff in cosplay constantly, and I always spend a very significant amount of time looking up other people's videos and seeing if somebody else has done something similar, or maybe I can build off of it even if someone has not done the exact same thing. So that is probably the most important cosplay skill to have.
So for me, I'd say my favorite part of the creating process, maybe unpopular opinion, but is like the tedious parts of it. Like I do a lot of embroidery and beadwork, and honestly, I like that portion where you're kind of in the zone, and then you also get to like watch Netflix and like it's, honestly, to me it's really relaxing. I know some people get so frustrated doing it, but I know often cosplay, cosplay crunch is a big thing. Kind of like doing a lot really fast. But personally, a lot of my cosplays take years, and to me that's fine, because it's
I kind of like to take a more chill approach, do it at your own pace, and kind of enjoy the process. So yeah.
Painting. I absolutely love to paint, specifically airbrush painting. Moving from Texas to Nebraska, I had to learn, I did not have a garage and I got a basement. Nebraska has snow, I've never seen snow. So you can't paint under 65 degrees. So my husband promised, first thing we're gonna do is build a Dexter room in the basement of our rental place without our landlord knowing. Hopefully he doesn't watch this video. And so we did that. It was very fun. I'm so proud of it. I mudded the room, everything. I painted all of it. We had to put in this vent, and I lived down there. And I'm very, very grateful that I'm sponsored by Createx Colors in Iwata, because I would not be able to just have fun and paint as much as I wanted without their support. So yeah, but airbrush painting, absolutely love it. I'll talk to you for hours about it. If you want paint, come to my booth. I have airbrush paints for cosplay, and I will talk your ears off about it.
That's awesome. Mine is just, I love picking fabric textures and color palettes. Like, it seems like, oh, you're just picking out fabric. No, but I love fabric. I don't know if, I think I'm the type of like autism spectrum person that just likes to touch everything that's fabric. I don't know if that's, a common thing, but I'll go in the fabric store and just be like this. Like, there's this giant fabric store in downtown Chicago. Woo! And,
that place.
Yes, I love it.
It's a hazard.
It is a
There's
hazard.
like the bottom, if you go in the basement, the floorboards above you are like an inch above your head and they're creaking and anyone could like fall through at any moment. It's scary. There's like dim light flickering. It's a mess. It's really great though.
Yeah, I think
there are treasures in that dust-covered kill room.
There are. But I love to pick out color palettes. I'll look at like wigs. Like Connor has a wig coloring, and we'll just go through and we'll be like, what complements this color palette? Well, my skin tone is more yellow based, or my skin tone is more pink based. Which of these looks better? I love doing that. Maybe it's because it's my theater background and thinking about how the lighting is going to affect it and how the colors of the set will affect how it looks on stage, or just how it looks in general. But that's the angle I come at it from. And I also feel everything you guys are saying. Especially the no painting under 65 degrees. I feel that in Detroit.
I have temperature gauges in the room and outside, and I have all these, I have a heater in there, and I blow the fuse box downstairs all the time, so I have to be careful to have things on timer, so, it's not all on the same thing. It's a nightmare, but I love it still.
All right, my next question is, how do you balance content creation updates while you're building a costume?
You don't.
That's what I was going to say too, because I don't consider myself much of a content creator, because I literally, as I'm working on something, you'll either see updates or you'll see nothing. Because I'm either going, oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God, or I'm like, ooh, this is nice, click, click. Ooh, this is nice, click, click. There's two modes, there is no in between. Yeah, we'll go back this way.
Oh, okay. I hate social media. I hate that I have to do it. I hate that it's my job, but it's how I have to share my stuff and show you. And at all times, I have my camera, we're filming this right now, but that's always going, because everything I make, I basically do a tutorial on. A YouTube one, that's it, in length, step by step. You use this thread and this stitch line to do this, or you use this tool to make this in foam or leather. But then you also have to do the social media, and I have 2 phones that are always filming at the same time on tripods, and then I live stream, and so that's another camera. So I've kind of very used to having tons of cameras and talking to this one and this one and this one, and I don't recommend it. It's not fun, but I love making things and being able to share with everybody on how y'all can do it yourselves. So.
For me, I try to be chill about social media. I don't force myself to post if I don't want to post, but for me it's low stakes. I try to, let's say, align the way I like to work with the way I want to post on social media. A lot of my work is very slow, so often, I'm not going to be the type of social media person who has a cosplay every week. So because I'm pretty slow, I kind of focus my social media content around like the process, you know, just small updates. I feel like for me that's just more sustainable, to just take it at my own pace and do it the way that I want to.
Like most people here, I do this poorly. I miss LiveJournal.
Yes.
I miss when you could write up what you did and it didn't have to be a video. Because I don't think people understand how long video editing takes. I used to write, I could just sit down and write tutorials, just spit it out in an hour and I'm done with photos and all that good stuff. But video editing is a really, really long process. And you know, when you are not doing cosplay full time, you are making cosplay in your free time, to then take some of that free time and edit a video, it kind of stinks. And I really hate that this is the direction that we have unfortunately gone in. But it is what it is. And so when I do it, our focus is either showing our progress or we have a really heavy emphasis on education. My wife and I, education, tutorials, all of that kind of stuff. So that's usually what I end up posting.
I feel like I also am a little old school in my preference, not LiveJournal, old, but kidding. Hey, this is just me, I promise. No, I really appreciate photos. I think that for me, I don't know that I'll ever get good and do the video aspect of social media. I think that every social media platform has gotten used to such short attention spans from the people that consume it. And the longer that you're consuming media, the longer you're watching ads and the more money that they're making. Because if the platform is free, then you're the product essentially at that point. And also, we don't own anything on social media and it's all fleeting. Anything you put on social media can go away in an instant. The company can be bought by a crazy person and then implode, and you're gonna lose all of that content.
That actually happened to LiveJournal.
Yeah. So, like, that's one aspect that is always kind of like trepidatious. There are avenues, like having your own website, which you can own that domain and you can maintain yourself. But obviously it's going to be harder to get people to see your content because it's on a specific website, right? For me, I think one of the reasons why I've been doing cosplay for as long as I have is I don't let social media dictate my self-worth in any way or my worth of my craft or my costumes. I share photos because I want to. I think I look cool in them and I think they're fun. I think it's a lot of work to do videos, which is why oftentimes I don't do them. In terms of progress updates, I actually just use highlight reels on Instagram and I'll take photos throughout my build and it's really easy. I just take a photo, put a little caption, upload it to the story, and then years later, I can go back to that highlight reel with like 100 posts and be like, I made this. And I can look the whole way through. And then also, if I do contests, I can pull from there for build books, which is another hot tip. But yeah, I don't know, I'm not good at social media, and that's just how I approach it to keep myself sane.
There's a reason that my first Instagram post in probably a millennium was walking the Artist Alley floor yesterday saying that I was here. I am absolutely neurotic at actually capturing the media. It's the processing part that somehow just doesn't happen. So I've got this wonderful repository of a bunch of weird stuff, and I see it in my photo album. But I went hard on Instagram in 2018, a lot, just getting the platform up when it was still a solid platform compared to what it is today. And I was part of a cosplay group called Project Everblade with BlizzCon, and went hard on that, and I burned myself up hard. I got a great growth from it, but it destroyed me, and I didn't touch social media for ages. So it's slowly getting back to there. Like, I've got the stuff created, I've got a great production set up in my studio that is getting dust. So one of the things that I want to do is, again, get back to it this year and focus on it, but more of I've been working on 3 tutorial books and YouTube stuff and things like that. So I'm putting it out there, so now it has to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have to move this.
You stay.
So
So I cannot help you. Okay, I cannot help you. I have no advice. Y'all could help me. Because no, honestly, like the best thing I found about social media is just the ability to meet people, but everything else is trash. Like, I can't. And the only thing I do with regard to like process and updates is, as Zavage was saying, stories. Like, I love that. Just, me and my little chicken brain in the middle of making something, I just take a picture or a video and I upload it. Donezo. But I've been trying, I've been making efforts, and I would like to go on the tube of the U variety. Okay, so I have been trying to record long form things, but my issue now is finding the time to then edit all of that, because usually I try to edit when I'm doing the number 2. And that's not enough time. So yes, if you have any advice for me, I'm willing to take it.
I had to process what you just said. It like lagged in my brain for a minute.
How am I supposed to follow up to that? I agree with, it's so refreshing to know that everyone has the same opinion. So my opinion is the same as everybody else. So I want to just offer like a little tip and words of encouragement that you don't have to put your value of your cosplay based on your social media numbers.
Yes.
Because like I mentioned before, it could be gone in a second. We lost Vine, we lost Facebook. Like we're gonna lose Instagram. Photo bucket, my God.
Photo bucket.
Cosplay.com, rip. I know, I'm never.
Cosplay lab.
I've seen
Cosplay Lab's still there.
I've seen some of the most talented people have like maybe 1,000, 2,000 followers that work in television and make the costumes for Marvel and all that. So I don't want you to value your cosplay or your value of yourself based on your social media numbers, because it's all controlled by an algorithm anyway. And our AI overlords.
I feel that. I have friends that do more of just the content creation side, and they have like thousands of followers because that's what they focus on and that's their job. And I'm just like, if I didn't have to go work on car stuff all day, then I would have a lot more energy to put towards this. But sometimes you spend a lot of time on Excel and then you go home and you just see numbers and you sit on the couch and go, 404 not found. All right, I want to combine the next two, so if you have one or you don't have the other, you can feel free to give one. I'm not sure if our time is 2 o'clock or 1:30.
It's 2.
It's 2?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, then I won't.
Oh, maybe it's 1:30. It used to be 2.
Oh, it is 1:30.
It's 2 on our schedule.
Yeah, it's 2 on our schedule. Okay.
What does the app
What
say?
does the app say?
Did you say 1:30? The app says 2.
The app says 1:30.
All
What
right.
does the fox say?
We'll combine this one.
It was in my head.
Yeah.
It sounds like it's 150 maybe.
150, awesome, thank you. I keep reading different numbers and I don't know what's what anymore. All right, numbers. Okay, so then I will not combine them. We'll have enough time. And we'll start down there again for this one. What words of encouragement would you give to your baby cosplayer self?
Oh my gosh. What if I should get your baby cosplay self? Oh my gosh. You look just fine. You look just fine.
Feel that.
I am a person of color, I'm a black cosplayer. There's not many cosplays that are, black characters, and if they are, they're just really tan characters. And you always worry like, oh, do I look good enough? And so this is like today I'm Princess Peach. This is my favorite character in the whole wide world. It took me until now to cosplay her because I never thought, I'm a black girl, how do I look blonde? Like, am I gonna look like Peach? And so I waited until now to cosplay it, and I regret it. So you look just fine. You look fine.
And you look fantastic as Peach.
Yes, amazing.
For me, first and foremost, it would be, you are going to gain a lot of weight. Relax. It's okay. Relax. And secondly, don't take yourself so seriously. You don't have to be the very best that no one ever was. And have no Ash Ketchum in cosplay. Relax. Those are my 2 words of advice.
Start sooner. it got a bit of a later start. It wasn't until 26 or so that I started like getting back into the hobby again. And just after college and whatnot, I kind of lost the creative side. So I never would have imagined being at this point in my life with doing all this weird stuff, but there's also honestly not a lot that I would change, because it's those experiences, both good and bad, that make me who I am today, and I'm pretty dang happy with that. So just to start sooner, have fun, and persevere.
Yes.
I would say I would teach myself and say, you know, Zach, you can wear a wig. You don't have to spray paint your hair. It technically was for cosmetic purposes, but it was still paint out of a can, so would not recommend. You can wear wigs, and also I would say that you can wear makeup for cosplays, and that does not make you less of a quote man. When I first started cosplaying, I was very insecure and like not even sure of my own like sexuality, and I was very nervous to wear makeup because I thought that that would make me come off as like a girl, or all the things that like a 15-year-old, 16-year-old would think of. And so I wish I would have started, you know, actually practicing some of those techniques sooner, because it really does make a huge difference in your cosplay and your cosplay appearance. Not that you have to, because you can cosplay however you want in whatever way you want, and no one can tell you otherwise. And if they do, they ain't paying your bills. Pay them no mind, as Ms. RuPaul says. But I digress. I think I would have taught myself it's okay to do those things. You can wear a wig, you can wear makeup, and you are still you, and you are not less than for doing those things that society might, as norms, say that you shouldn't do as a guy.
Can I butt in really quick? Sorry. The one actual thing is like, the project isn't worth your mental and physical health. Make sure to rest, drink water, take breaks, and don't kill yourself.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's like,
Do research. Look things up and see what other people have done. Don't just look at an object and think that, oh, that's an approximate correct shape. I'll just make a hat out of clay. That'll work. People have done this stuff before. People put incredible information out. See maybe why they did it that way, and it might help you not make mistakes.
I would just say, you know, make sure that you're having fun, because that is the most important part of cosplay. This is a hobby, so, you know, why would you do it if you're not having fun? If there's any aspects of it that you feel you know, aren't enjoying, feel free to cut those out. If you know, don't feel like posting on social media, you don't have to do that in order to be a cosplayer. You don't have to learn every single skill. You can just learn the ones that you want to. So, yeah, just make sure you're enjoying the hobby, because it should be about you and what you love to do.
For me, I'm gonna go a little personal, but tell myself, you're a workaholic. You need to not work through the pain physically and see a doctor. And I'm saying that because I've not had health insurance for a very long time. But now, because of the Air Force, I got to do lots of tests. And I found out I have an inverted uterus, I have an enlarged ovary, and I have a cyst on it, which I'm actually getting surgery in a week and a half.
Oh my god.
Yay! So, it'd be nice to have known that sooner, but yeah, you know, personal reasons, you should not feel pain when you work.
Yes.
Or do exercise, I didn't know that, so.
Yeah.
That was,
Yeah. Hope it all goes well.
Thank you, I hope so too.
Yeah. I would say the big one for me is being someone who has always been either plus size or average size or somewhere in the middle. Just make the cosplay. Don't wait until you're skinnier. As we say in the musical Rent, no day but today. You know, just sew the cosplay. Just do, if it's something that's gonna bring you joy, go ahead and do it. Obviously, if there's other things like you need to be focusing on education or career or financial constraints, obviously don't be irresponsible with those things. But if this thing that you want to do and you want to put on your body, even if you just do it in the comfort of your own house, like in the drag scene, we call it bedroom drag, where they just stay in your house and you just film videos. that's just as valid as drag you see at the bar doing lip syncs or on TV on Drag Race. It's all valid. It's all drag. It's all cosplay. You know, we're all born naked and the rest is drag. But yeah, that's where I am. I wanted to save the funniest one for last. So if you have a crazy or embarrassing cosplay story, who wants to start with this one? You want to go? Okay.
I was competing at a contest in, I think it was Ikicon, and I did my Combat Medic Ziegler Mercy skin. It's got large wings and everything, and I had 3D printed and modeled the wings, and they actually opened and closed. I was so excited. I went through judging. They worked well. And after judging, I was like, oh, let's go do food down the stairs. Stairs in cosplay? Oh no.
It's difficult.
The wing. All the way down. So after that, we went up to the hotel room and did epoxy with the competition an hour away. Epoxy needs longer. So we did a test right before going on stage. It worked once, and my husband was with me, and because of stairs, we had to go up more stairs. And he's holding the wings just to be careful, and it comes off again. And I'm just like, take them off, take them off. And so I go on stage, I got my little gun, I'm just like, Next thing you know, I'm in the center, and my husband is holding the wings, doing this behind me. And I was just like,
he's a keeper.
Yay! So I still won best craftsmanship, but it was a story to remember, and I really, really hate stairs in any cosplay. So yeah.
I have a really embarrassing one to share with everyone here today. So the character I'm cosplaying right now, his name's Balthus from Fire Emblem. His personality is he comes from under the sewers, and he's a himbo. His personality is 8-pack, and that's pretty much it. There's a little more there, but I love him. He's fine. However, when I was going to make this costume, I thought, okay, well, I want to try my first silicone chest suit. Ooh, so basically, for those that don't know, yeah, it's like it's a silicone like body piece where it has like skin-like texture, and it can like basically, a lot of cosplayers use it if they are trying to like do shirtless cosplays, because it's like not actual skin, it's like a bodysuit that looks like skin, and you can shade it and everything. It's fabulous, unless you're in the Texas heat. So I had this meat suit on in this costume, this very costume, and we got photos, and it was fabulous, until about a few hours through the day, where all the sweat caught up to me. In my stomach, where the 6-pack was now a waterbed, being contained by only a belt around my waist to prevent the Niagara Falls from summoning out of my body. So, I happened to be cosplaying with some friends. The one that had the hotel room at this giving convention was actually Yaya Han. And she knew all about the meat suit, she knew all about the sweat and the impending doom that was going to await us, and she said, just get back to my hotel room, we're going to take care of it. We get back to the hotel, we were all good until then, being very careful not to move too suddenly, and we get into the shower. My friend Kirsten in the front row had to help me with the tsunami that came out of that meat suit while we screamed in terror as all of the floodgates opened all over the floor of that shower. I almost wore the meat suit on this very day, and I decided to not with my better judgment because I was not prepared to flood AX with the meat suit juice. I would have had to ask for probably a tarp and an extra set of towels, and I wasn't going to subject the good people of Los Angeles, nay, the US, to that. So that is a recent embarrassing story of mine. Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes. Oh, to me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, okay.
Hydration wasn't like a thing?
I was drinking water throughout the entire day. It was just all accumulating in my midsection. Yeah. Probably like 5 ounces at least.
Oh, God. Ooh. Yeah.
I was thinking of a crazy one. I have one about Homestuck, but I think it's too long. So we're not gonna do that. I could do my most embarrassing one. which is actually the most mortifying memory of my entire life, ironically, that happened after I won the crown.
Oh no.
So when you win the crown, they give you a big fat check. And at C2E2, when you're done, there's like a little after party, everyone's talking, and it's like, okay, it's time to go back. I needed to take my own meat suit off.
You had one too, yeah.
I also had a meat suit. Okay, let's all go back to the hotel room. And you have to essentially go from the con center to the hotel, and it's a little bit of a walk. And so I'm walking in this big old outfit, I've got this big old check, and then I go into the outside of the con center, a little gathering lobby, and people see the check, and they see me with the check, and this room of strangers just starts going,
What?
Is it the walk of shame through the hangout lobby?
yeah!
Oh.
And so it's like a whole room of people clapping for me. And like, you may not realize this, but I am deeply introverted. And so I'm just like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened in my entire life. And so I go as fast as possible with my friends through the walk of shame lobby. We get into a little connecting tunnel. There's no more people there. It stops. And then we get into the Hilton. And the best part is one of my handler friends, she is a Disney princess. She is deeply extroverted, and she's just walking next to me like, soaking it up. But yeah, that's the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
I have one next. Mine was at Dragon Con. If you've ever been to Dragon Con, there are 5 hotels downtown Atlanta, including all the other secondary hotels. This is one year I was really poor, so I grouped with a bunch of people in a non-host hotel. It was very ghetto, not the cleanliest hotel. And so it was time to, get your costume on. And so I put on my thick Christmas socks because they add cushion to your shoes. Put my shoes on, and I felt like, a little bit of like laundry fuzz. And I was like, okay, just put it on. We were running late. I ran. Went to the convention all day, all morning until nighttime. And I was like, it didn't bother me because it was like flat. Like little flat, what's it called? The fuzzies.
Like lint.
Lint. And I was like, okay, so I got home at night and I took my costume off, and once I picked my foot up, are you familiar with palmetto bugs? Palmetto bugs, if you don't know, they are giant cockroaches. One of them has crawled inside of my cosplay shoe, and that little buddy was in my shoe the entire day. Stuck. Who knew? I'm 250 pounds. He's dead. I picked my foot up and I was like, I asked my other friend, we had just met that weekend. I was like, hey, can you get this fuzzy off my sock? And she's, so the other friend grabbed my sock and was flinging it around and was like trying to get it off my sock. And that was the moment we all became very close, trauma bonded friends. Check your fuzzy socks.
Oh my God, it is disgusting. I left a review.
Okay, mine isn't nearly that bad.
I wanted to keep the gross ones split up.
I don't know how bad it is. So I was cosplaying in Japan at Comic-Con, and cosplay there is very, very different. You could only cosplay like in specific marked places, and then you have to cover yourself and get to that place. So I had my Fran costume on, and I thought I was killing it, right? So I'm there in my Fran costume, and I blink, and there's literally the longest line. So that's what they do. People just come up and take pictures and take business cards. That's how they cosplay over there. So I was like, okay, cool. There was sun, but I thought, I'm black, right? This has no power over me. I'll be fine. You know where this is going?
Oh no.
Yeah. So no, and I'm from Trinidad, so I really thought. And the thing is, the sun was a liar. He was a liar because I didn't feel that shit. It crept up on me, and then I just saw the sky. Before I saw anything else, and then my handler at the time, he had an afro, God bless him, and God bless that afro, because that is what I had to hold on to before I made it to the ground. And folks, whenever you make cosplay, when you make armor, learn from me, make sure your knees can bend.
Oh.
So I fell on my ass, legs, spread eagle to the line of Japanese men. And you know what the sad part is? I'm on the ground defeated. And they didn't move. The line stayed. They walked over me with an umbrella, like, you okay? How long you gonna take to, because I have these pictures to get in Japanese. I'm like, and then to add insult to injury, it was the cutest ace cosplayer. And I was like, oh, he's so cute. Ain't no way he gonna be here. That man was there. And he walks up to me with Pocari sweat. Like,
yes.
Oh, and I was like, this is not the way I would like you to see me. Yeah, that's my story. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
'Twas the year of our Lord 2018. BlizzCon, Project Evanblade. If you guys, it was a big, there were 83 of us, I think. So artist Zach Fisher took all pretty much every character from World of Warcraft and then some and create them to Death Knights. I was tasked with bringing Varian Wind Death Knight to life. So it was pretty much like he was all fell exploded and trying to come back together. It was a 9-month project that I was supposed to have 6 months to do that I really only was given 2.5 months. So aside from that, it was before I really started 3D printing. So I had these giant World of Warcraft shoulders that I sculpted by hand and cast. And because I was rushing, I didn't hollow them properly, so it was legit 2 gallons of resin. Nothing was assembled. So there was like 5 of us. And my buddy Chad of Hoku Props in his garage, like working 3 days straight prior to the event. I had to go buy linebacker guards to kind of mount this stuff. Nothing was wearable, by the way, when I went to LA for the show. It was just looking pretty-ish. So I get it, everything fits, it goes on. I've got my contacts, I've got UV paint and wigs on. I had custom scleras painted by Salwin contact lenses. Wow. And so it was the first, I hadn't worn the costume before, this first time doing it. Fortunately, so there's this big video of the march where every freaking person involved in this project looks dead and we're not acting because we were all just so sleep deprived. But the biggest thing, there's weird weight distribution and whatnot, so I hadn't worn these contacts before outside. In order to get like the weird kind of green zombie look that he has in his eyes, I asked the artist if he could just do a little bit of green over the actual retinas as well. So I get outside, we're in Anaheim, sun, I turn and I was like, I am blind, I can't see anything. So like 70% of that show, I'm just walking around blind like an idiot because I wanted to bring this ridiculous concept art to life. And so long story short, make the smart decisions of not 100% accurately designing the art that you're given, and make sure that you don't paint over your retinas.
I'm trying to think of what mine would. What do you think, Connor?
Oh.
The airport or?
Which one was the airport?
The airport was the counterweights.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
I like that one. Well, there's that one, and then there is the other one was when we were throwing the
Oh, that was a good one too. We were actually on stage, so I'm gonna do that one. So, Connor and I competed for 9 years before we won World Cosplay Summit. We actually went to Japan on the 10-year anniversary of our first win. Yeah, that was really crazy how that all came full circle. But so 2013, Katsucon 2013 was our first preliminary, which we ended up winning, and we were totally shocked. And our performance was from Chrono Cross, and we were Harl and Kid. And we did these really cool, like, giant toy scarves that we would, like, spin with, and we toss them, and they would crisscross in the air, and it was really cool. And Katsucon had, like, they still have, like, an actual theater where the contest takes place. So there's, like, wings, there's, like, an actual, like, proscenium, and the audience is down compared to where the stage level is. And I'm thinking, because I'm a theater person, the wings should be clear, because for the most part, for safety reasons in theatrical productions, wings are clear. But I guess the convention thought the best idea would be to put the sound guy right there off stage in the wing, like literally just where you couldn't see him. And we came on stage and we saw that he was there, and we're like trying to throw these scarves and the best way to have them not like hit anyone, but well, we hit the guy. So we do this move where we whip this scarf and it goes cross, 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 throw it off stage. Because we're doing like dance moves and we need the stage clear for the end of the performance. And was it you or me that hit the guy?
You sent it towards the sound guy. I almost.
Oh yeah, you almost took out Yaya.
Yeah.
So we love Yaya to death. She was literally there for like our entire WCS journey. She is just a wonderful person, and we're just I like fling it off stage. I like clock the sound guy, and he narrowly misses Yaya, who is standing there in her gorgeous, I think, Granado Espada cosplay, just looking gorgeous, holding the narrator, the MC paper, and just narrow miss. But we were mortified. We were like, we're getting off stage, picking up all our stuff, like, good job, good job. I mean, the skit went well, but we didn't expect there to be casualties.
There was also the year there was like, what, 2 or 3 other skits that also had stuff flying across the stage.
Yeah, there was another team that like shot an arrow into the wing, and then like somebody else had to like chuck something big off the stage, like to the side. And
it was a wild time.
We all expected clear wings. We did not expect an entire soundboard and an engineer. But yeah, that's ours. Did you have one?
Not really a story. I mean, there's a story, but I'm not going to tell you. I will just say, make sure that you can very easily go to the bathroom when you're cosplaying.
Yes.
I have dropped things in the toilet and gotten my cosplays wet. Really gross. Not going to give you any details. So yeah, pro tip there. Make sure you can easily, keep all your stuff from falling into the toilet.
I feel that. My at work, I would wear my stretch jeggings at work, and I would go to like use the restroom, and then my phone would just tumble out of my pocket. I've rescued it like close. I feel that. All right, so we were given the 15-minute warning. Does anyone have any questions for anyone on the panel?
We've got 2 minutes.
Oh, that's 2 minutes. Oh, I'm so sorry. We can take one question.
There's 2. We could do
both
just
of
real
them.
quick.
Okay, we'll do both. You guys. Go ahead.
My question is, how's like your background impacted how you do your cosplay work? Like, some convention, theater and art, and how does that affect?
It's for me, it's like the outcome of what I put on stage is thought through as if it's a whole 2-minute and 30-second piece of theater.
For me, I went to school for mechanical engineering and I learned how to like lathe. So recently I've been doing more woodworking in my projects, which I got foundations from my college degree.
For me, I have a bachelor's of fine arts, and so I was able to use my welding, painting, sculpting, and all that into multimedia, and it's cosplay.
That's really cool.
I actually find that having more of a STEM focus is good, not necessarily for any of the making, but for how you approach a cosplay and be very methodical about your project.
Similar, also a bit of a electrical and computer engineering background for like animatronics and whatnot, compared with like the art side and actual like theater performance major. So a lot of that comes into play as well, and detail work.
I love that. Love that. What was our other question?
I have a couple of questions, but mainly I've made cosplays before, and my favorite part is like the weapons or accessories that a character may have. And recently I've been wanting to make something that's very complex and it requires machined parts. So I was wondering if you guys know where I can find, like send an AutoCAD blueprint or something to machine a part, because I don't want to do that myself.
If you have any maker spaces near you, sometimes there's services like that, as long as you've got a nice clean thing. Remember to take into consideration the fillets and any chamfers, because you have to work with the radii of the bits that they're machining things out of. But there are places like Send Cut Send for straight up laser cut stuff. GCL PCB also does machine work in addition to 3D print services, things like that. If you do, just go online and look for like any like CNC mill work. There's a lot of newer places like that as well, or even like local makerspaces.
Thank you.
That's really cool.
Do you all have booths?
Yes. So we all have booths. We are in the Cosplay Senpai.
The judges do not have
Oh, the
booths.
judges. I'm so sorry.
Well, we can also talk about our panel times and stuff too,
Yes.
if we want to, and,
Yeah.
where we are. if we
Yeah,
want to.
so I can be found in the Cosplay Senpai corner, which is near the Cosplay Repair booth. I'm Luna Lady of Light on all the socials. My panel is tomorrow, and it is at 3:15, and it is Enter Stage Right, the art of creating cosplay performances.
Y'all missed my workshop yesterday. So we wrapped a lot of people in saran wrap and masking tape. It was fun. I'm Tiffany Gordon Cosplay. I have business cards in the back. I'm one of the Cosplay Senpais this year. You can find all the Cosplay Senpais in the entertainment hall next to the Cosplay Repair station, all the photo stuff. So, yeah.
I'm Arian Nico Cosplay. Again, I'm a Cosplay Senpai, same location where everyone else is. And my panel is tomorrow. It's on cosplay storytelling. This room at 12 o'clock.
Yep, mine's also this room.
I am Cowbutt Crunchies on all the many, many socials except for Twitter, which I am Cowbutt Crunchy with no S, because it is too long. I, along with these two guys, am one of the cosplay judges, so I do not have a booth, but we will have a temporary booth in Marriott Gold on Saturday from 11 to 3.
Oh, yeah.
I've brought, did you forget? I've brought books with me if anybody is interested in perusing things, cosplay cat helper pins, stickers, stuff like that. And I am also running a kind of demo today on the art of extreme wig styling in this room at 6:15 if you are interested in volumizing, teasing big ol' shapes.
I'm Zavage Cosplay. I have a booth in the entertainment hall, just like was mentioned before. My panel was yesterday on armor and prop making. It's on my Instagram. You can come to the entertainment hall to find me and learn more about that.
HDC fabrication on all social medias. Like the other judges, we've been living in our little hobbit hole. But that's 11 to 3. We'll have the temporary table tomorrow. I'll have like prints and some pins and stuff if you want to hang out, talk shop, and look at some weird pictures.
It's Marriott Gold, not
Marriott
the Senpai.
Gold.
Yeah. Not the Senpai place.
I don't need to move you.
Hi, I'm Pantaruna. Cosplay on some things, just Pantaruna on other things. And as they said, I'll be where they said that we would be because I don't remember.
And I'm Alley Cat Cosplay. I'll be in the Cosplay Senpai area. Tomorrow we have a big panel room in this room at 11:30 a.m. Cosplay tips that I've learned doing commission work for over the years to elevate your next cosplay. If you have any questions or bring your own cosplay, bring your own wig. We'll work on it together tomorrow in the morning. You too.
I have business cards on me too. I forgot about those.
I have no business.
Awesome. Well, thanks everybody for joining me on the panel, and thanks everybody for coming. It's been awesome. For those of us that will be at the Cosplay Senpai booth, you can ask us any more questions you might have, anything we didn't get a chance to get to. We'll be there throughout the rest of the weekend. Thank you.
Enjoy your Anime Expo.